Hey everybody, Chef AJ here. This is not the show, so don't worry, you didn't get the time wrong. I'm here to tell you what the week's schedule is because I've been asked by people if I could maybe tell people a week in advance who all the guests are. So I thought, well, why not? On Monday, I'll either do an email or I'll come on and I'll tell you who the guests are for the week and also wish you a happy week and a good Monday. So I'm going to put a link if you want to sign up to be on my mailing list. We actually do send out we just who the guests are. And we try not to send too many emails. We're bunching them now, doing about 3 at each time. So that'll carry you. So we're not sending an email every day like we used to tell you who the guests are. And I'm going to put the link right here. The thing is that gives you priority on your question asking. So hi, and when we send it out, especially when it's a doctor, because as you know, when it's a doctor, we get like sometimes 12 pages worth of questions. So we do give priority to the people who sent them in, not to send them into my email, but we send you out an email saying who the guests are and what they're going to talk about. And then you hit reply. And then my husband, Charles, compiles them. So that's one reason that you might want to be on the mailing list, just to know who the guests are. It's not necessary. So I'm going to do this, and I put this in the show notes. So I don't want to tell you who's going to be on for the rest of the year, although I am booked pretty much for the rest of the year, but I'll do it a week at a time. Now, the show is almost always at 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's the regular time slot we decided on. When we started this show, it was really because of sheltering in place and to create a sense of community and connection, but it became popular and many people asked to be on it. So we did a poll with the people that are subscribers on YouTube, which I thank you very much for subscribing because you got me to 100,000, which I appreciate. And thank you for your kind comment on the PCR interview. That was a lot of fun. Chuck Carroll is very, very inspirational. You can see that on the PCRM website or on YouTube or on the PCRM Facebook page. I was interviewed today by the weight loss champion, Chuck Carroll, and Dr. Bernard was on as well. So I lost my train of thought. Anyway, thank you, Christina. So I did a poll for the subscribers on YouTube, and actually the slot that won was 3 p.m., but that wasn't really a good time because it's, well, just tired by 3 p.m. because I get up at like 4 a.m. And so the second slot was 11 a.m. So I chose that. It seems to be working for most people because I didn't want to compete with anybody else that had a vegan show like Chuck Carroll or Jane Velez Mitchell or Elizabeth Alfano. So it didn't seem like anybody was really doing a regular daily show at 11 a.m. I don't know how much longer I can keep going daily at 11 and keep getting guests, but I am booked till January 9th. So we know that for sure. I'm always looking for interesting people, preferably plant-based, but if they're doing great things in the world, it's a non-negotiable. But guys, I don't reach out to people. I've had too many rejections and difficult stories of reaching out, like, I don't want to say the name of the doctor, but everybody's like, you have to have him on. And it was just really a nightmare. So I'm not really shy, but I don't like that experience because people that want to be on the show, they find me and it's very easy to find my mailing list. So let's talk about who's going to be on the show this week. And then I wanted to answer a question yesterday from a live viewer about the Lose Weight with a Full Plate program. I don't like to be talking about myself and what I'm doing when I'm hosting because it's really not fair to the guest, which is why I do a monthly Q&A live, but I can do more often if you need that. But if you're in Feel Fabulous, I'm on every single week. We do those live interactions. And I'm going to give you the link for that as well, because you can try it for 2 weeks free. We go live every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And once a month, it's with Dr. Doug Lyle answering questions. And Monday's August 3rd. So you're saying I put all the dates wrong. Okay, I will fix that in the show notes, and Frank Sabatino as well. So let me just tell you who's going to be on the show this week. And as I mentioned, we always try to do the show at 11 a.m., but every now and then there's a guest for whatever reason they can't make 11 a.m. For example, they live in Australia. That would be like 4 in the morning. So we have to do another time. I try not to do 2 shows a day. We were doing that at the beginning, but it's a little bit exhausting, and I know it's a lot of content, but every now and then something happens where it just does. And I try not to do that, but you'll see every now and then, maybe once a week at the most, there'll be 2 shows. And I'll let you know when those are. So starting today is the only day the show is not at 11 a.m. because KORY from the Holland Bowl Mill, he works in a factory and it's too noisy. So we're going to do the show today, not at the usual time at 11, but at 1 p.m. And so if you have any questions on how these bowls are made or why they're so good or the personalization or how to chop a perfect salad. I've had him on before, but I wanted him to really go into depth today. Thank you, Lauren, for saying she loves my daily show. So that's going to be at 1 p.m. today. For the rest of the week, it's at 11. Tomorrow, Monday, August 4th, we have TRACYE, I hope I say her name like McQUIRTER, and she's going to be talking about it's your greens, not your genes. She started a movement for Black women that's amazing, and she's going to talk about that. And I think she's even going to make some kebabs, which will be great. And on Wednesday, August 5th, at 11 a.m., we have Kathy Hester, one of my favorite chefs. She's written 10 books, and she's going to be doing a sushi class, so that'll be great. And on Thursday, August 6th, we have Chef Ramses Bravo back, but this time he's going to be doing an Iron Chef competition. He's going to be given ingredients that he doesn't know about in advance, and he's going to have to make a meal from them. So that should be a lot of fun. And on Friday, August 7th, we have all the way from Rancho La Puerta in Tecate, Mexico, the executive chef of Rancho La Puerta, Chef REYNA. If you've ever been to Rancho, you know that this is quite a big deal to get her on. She is lovely and her food's amazing. I hope she'll make her salsa. She makes the best salsa. And oh, if you ordered another bowl yesterday, I hope you used my code to get the free mezzalune and the free bowl. If not, maybe he'll do it retroactively. And then on Saturday, we have back. See, a lot of times you ask for the chefs to come back because they'll mention a recipe. And this is exactly what's happening. Kelly Williamson from Colorado was talking about how she makes her own hot sauce. So she's going to be making different flavors of hot sauce without oil, sugar, or salt. That's Saturday. And then Sunday, we have a chef demo from Chef Christina Martin. She was one of the chefs working always on at Vegetarian Summerfest. So that's it for the week. I think if there's time, I'll do this every Monday so that if you're not subscribed to my mailing list, you'll at least be able to click the show notes and see who's on for the week. But I hope you'll watch, even if it's somebody you think it's like, oh, that's not for me, because you never know what they're going to say or do. And I'm learning so much from my guests, and not just the cooking things I'm learning, but just the interviews. So I'll just see if you guys have any questions about anything. This was just meant to be just a short little hello to tell you that we're not going live at 11 today, that we're going live at 1. And I do appreciate it if you subscribe to me on YouTube, because I think eventually it's possible. I don't know if the show's going to stay on Facebook as well. YouTube is just a better place to be for those of us that do things. It's complicated, but it is, I think, better than Facebook and Instagram. And I am not on social media, just so you know. What I mean by that, you may see me, but I don't go on it. So that's for my mental health, orders from Dr. Doug Lyle. So I don't see comments on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. And, you know, people want to connect with me, they can connect with me every day like we're doing now, or contact me through my mailing list, or if you're in my program, you know, every week we connect. But I don't do social media because it's just detrimental to my mental health. So those of you that like it, good for you, but I do not like it. But YouTube seems to be the kindest and friendliest expression of it for me. So yesterday people asked about what the Lose Weight with a Full Plate program is. So I'm going to put a little link to it. It's a program we run usually once or twice a year, and it's only a 21-day program. So for people that are really struggling, it really is a great kickstart. And I think it's the first thing we've actually sold this year, because we were very careful not to do that because of all that's going on. But people have asked for us to bring it back, and it's 21 days of support with daily videos and audio, and it might be something that you'd like to consider. So I posted the link if you want to click it and see if it's something you want to do. We promised that we would repeat it for the people that we had done it. It was like, right, people had already paid and sheltering started and people weren't giving it their full due. So we said, we'll just rerun it. Anybody that took it before can take it again for free if they feel they missed out because of what's going on in the world. But it looks like what's going on in the world is still going on, and it's going to be going on for a long time. So, you know, we got to get back, as my grandmother would say, pull up our bootstraps and get down to brass tacks. So yeah. So where do we get on the mailing list? Lori wants to know. So I am going to post that link right now. There are certain servers, and it always seems to be sbcglobal.net, that often mark us as spam. But if you have Gmail, you'll always get it. And like I say, those of you that are on our list, you know, we don't sit there and sell stuff. If it is, it's very, very rare. And it's not, you know, it's like a $67 summit thing if you want, but that's how you do it. Yeah, Joy says, I don't blame you not listening to what trolls say, how it affects them. Yeah, I don't have to listen anymore because I've taken it all off my phone, so I don't even see it. So I have somebody doing that for me, and she consults with me on how to answer, but I can't see it anymore because I'm just too sensitive. They say Johnny Depp doesn't even watch his own movies. So yeah, Sharon says, just love everything you do and have done for myself and others. You're amazing, Sharon. Thank you very much. Little Ernie, hi, that's a great name, says, look forward to the next week. Susan says, congratulations on the magic number. Susan is the one that got me this beautiful purple controversial bell. Some people love it. I love it. Some people don't like when I ring it. So I kind of ring it gently, but I love it. And I'm not going to be bullied into not ringing a bell. Let's see if there's any other comments here. And yeah, if you have a couple of questions, you can ask. I'm just waiting for Charles to come home because we're going to be recording the Weight Loss Wednesday for this week. And it's going to be 7 recipes. And it's a very special one because it's a product that just came out that it's going to knock your socks off. Actually, Lisa, this isn't a dress. I mean, thank you though for the compliment. It's a top that was given to me by Elspeth Feldman, who is a regular guest on the show. She's the beauty from South Africa. She got me 3 shirts and they're all spectacular. I think it was a hint like, stop wearing t-shirts so much. So, but people give me t-shirts. So yeah, these are my shoulders. Thank you. So anyway, let's see. Joy, the info for lose weight with a full plate, just click on it. The website is loseweightwithafullplate.com. And, you know, one of the things that's nice about that program is it's like not forever. It's 21 days. And I'll never forget, where was I flying? It was somewhere in the Midwest. And the flight attendant, a stewardess, and she said, I'm in your program. And it was so funny that like somebody on an airplane was, but we get a lot of good feedback from that one because it's probably a little easier because it's just more gentle entry, but yet people that have been in programs with me a long time sometimes do it just to get their sea legs back, if you will, because some people have, believe it or not, relapsed during this period. So what's your favorite dessert recipe these days? I don't like to eat dessert because I think it sets me down a very bad path. Probably it would be the carrot cake where remember we did that webinar a little bit ago, the carrot cake, but I don't do it. I mean, I did it twice this year because of having to shoot videos, but it would probably be something I make once a year for my husband's birthday. Really, my favorite dessert is fruit, either watermelon or cherries. That's my favorite dessert. And when I start getting into the more concentrated desserts, then I just don't want to eat my fruits and vegetables. Hey, Nadej. So, by the way, all my food tastes like dessert now because for me, Japanese sweet potatoes are so sweet that I have to put something on them like sweet heat vinegar because they're too sweet. So everything tastes like dessert. This is nice. Stephanie says, do you have the 2 dietitians from Plant-Based Juniors coming on your show within the next few months? Could you be more specific who their names are? Because I do have 2 dietitians that are coming on next Friday, the 14th, named James and Dahlia. Is that who you mean, Married to Health? So, yeah, let's see. Katie said, I did the sugar-free challenge and learned I don't want to eat anything that's sweet anymore. Yeah, fresh. I mean, guys, since I quit sugar, I've been air frying apples. Great, Sharon. When you get off sugar and desserts, fruit tastes amazing. I remember not eating fruit till I was 43 because it tasted terrible and I have to put like sugar on it. But now really like envy apples, grapes, fruit is like too sweet. Really it is for me for the most part. But I love watermelon. I mean, watermelon is amazing because it's got the calorie density of vegetables. It's most fruit is about 300 calories a pound. Bananas are 400, avocados are 750. Watermelon's like 140 calories a pound. You can eat a whole watermelon and it's basically water. Unless you dry it, then it increases the caloric density. They do sell dried watermelon in Trader Joe's. That is like crack. And I eat it once in a while, but it's amazing. How do you keep your air fryer from burning the edges? The edges of what? I mean, I guess just move it or move it around. If you're talking about like potatoes, if your air fryer is burning stuff, move it around. Craig says, is there any problem with eating fruit after a meal? What do you think of meal combining? If it works for you, I know, Craig, that like some people, I know that I feel better when I eat fruit on an empty stomach. So like if I'll have it as a snack or if I'll wait a little bit after dinner, that's just an individual thing because I've had IBS for years. They say, I don't know if this is true. They used to say this at OHI, melons, eat them alone or leave them alone. But I know that I feel that fruit, because it's just more of a simple carbohydrate, digests better for me if it's earlier in the meal than after a full starchy dinner. But I don't, I think people have to do what feels, but the meal combining, if it works, I just want it to be as easy for you as possible. So when I say do the least restrictive program you could do that gets the result you seek, if it works for you, everybody's going to be a little bit different. So do what works for you, but do what works for you that's also as easy as you can do, Does my weight fluctuate every day? Wouldn't know because I don't weigh myself, but pretty much for the last 6 years since I lost the weight, it's been, like 119, And I got down to 115 once when I had pneumonia, and then it came right back up. But it's really never been over 120. What's fluctuating is my height. I'm getting shorter, unfortunately. And I don't know if it's because of aging or because I had that accident. And it's so funny how people are so critical on YouTube when they don't even know you. Like, I don't look anymore at the comments, but the comments would be like how terrible my posture is. And it's because I'm vegan and don't get enough calcium, when nobody even like asks me, like, could there be a reason that you have that posture? Like maybe that I was in a horrible accident where I was paralyzed when I was 22 and in a body cast for a year, that maybe is why I'm hunched over. Maybe it has nothing to do with being vegan. But I think that could be the reason that I used to be 5'6", and then I was 5'5.5", and I'm 5'5" now. So I'm getting a little worried that I'm getting shorter because so I don't know, but that's that. I don't know how much longer I'll be around to worry about it. I don't think I'm going to die right away, but thank you. You're beautiful. Joy says, I slowly lost weight, not in a big hurry, but seem to be at a plateau for the last month. Well, when people tell me they're at a plateau, the first thing I ask them is, how many pounds of vegetables are you eating each day? And are you eating them first? And are you sequencing your meals? And are you exercising? Missed what you said about the watermelon at Trader Joe's. So I love Trader Joe's, and I was just given the privilege to actually shoot a video in the store that it's going to come out very soon. We have to redo the sound because there's music playing in the store that makes it hard to hear me speak. So Charles said he can take the sound off and I'll just re-talk. And they sell, it's kind of expensive. It's a small bag of dried watermelon. It's called watermelon jerky, and it's like candy. So I wouldn't recommend you eat it very often. It's super duper sweet. You can make your own in a dehydrator too, if you like. Barb says, love the stand up at Flappers last night. And thank you guys so much for coming out. That was a lot of fun. Sequencing meals means that you start every meal with a pound of raw salad, followed by a pound of steamed greens, and then you eat your starch. That's how they teach you to eat at True North. That's how the buffet is set up, because by eating all those vegetables first, you have less room for the more satiating and necessary starch than if you just started with a starch or a fruit meal. Their names are Whitney and Alex. I do not know them, but if you want to tell them to contact me, I'm happy to interview them. They write recipes. Yeah. Yeah, if you know them, reach out to them. And if they want to be on the show, tell them to send me an email and I'll get them on the schedule. Absolutely. Debbie says, recently found your channel. Any dressings that are made without lemon juice and vinegar? Let me think for a minute. So can you have any kind of juice like orange juice or lime juice? Because the strawberry fiesta dressing has lime juice. I'm trying to think if any of my dressings don't have lemon juice and vinegar. Well, I guess what? I can look it up right now. I use the same dressing every day. I like my lemon poppy seed dressing, and I like the 7 herb Italian from California balsamic. So those are my 2 favorite. Salsa can be a dressing, doesn't necessarily have lemon juice or vinegar. What else could have that? What else is hummus? Well, hummus sometimes has a little lemon juice in it. Shoot, that's a tough one. It really is. Yeah, that's a tough one. Fruit can be a dressing, by the way, blended fruit. I don't know. That is tough when you take the acid away. Can't think of one off the, maybe something with maybe like some of the ones that are more cashew based or something. Sorry, I can't help you. Yeah, I invited Hannah. She said no. So if you would like to contact her, I texted her and she said no. So that's why I don't contact people anymore, because it's very, very discouraging when people, sorry, my husband's texting me and I gotta answer him. When you ask them and they say no. So maybe if enough of Hannah's fans will say to her to be on, maybe she'll do it. I love Hannah. I had her at my conference. So yeah, you ask her. So let's see. All right. Sorry, just going quickly through this. Oh yeah, the sushi should be great. I love to learn how to make sushi. We learned it in culinary school and then I never did it. So let's see. Oh, Angela says, We are doing a vegan Jamaican independence. 150 of us are eating all vegan, green, and fresh. You're so great. This is the six. That sounds great. That sounds like something you should really film and or live stream. That sounds really cool. It was fun when we went to Jamaica on the cruise. A guy was trying to sell us pot. It was hilarious. It's like, no, thank you, sir. We don't want any. Actually, high carb Hannah got recognized in one of the pours. It was funny by a young person. Okay, so Karen says, any recommendations on prep time and getting organized in the kitchen for new vegans? Yes. I recommend the channel Nutmeg Notebook, Tom and Tammy Kramer. They do great videos on that. And they go live every Sunday at 4, and she is the queen of batch cooking. So mine is very, very simple. Because I eat simple, I just, roast up probably 6 pounds of sweet potatoes every few days. And when I'm down to the last one, I put another batch in, which is actually today. Thanks for reminding me. And I keep it real simple. I cook rice, and I also buy the frozen organic rice at Trader Joe's and have lots of frozen vegetables and fresh vegetables. So I'm not the best one to ask if you like variety and recipes because I eat so simple. But Tammy Kramer, really, her blog Nutmeg Notebook, she is the queen of this. What's the bell about? Linda wants to know. So I recently, for those of you that know me for a long time, I have been on YouTube for over 10 years, and I did not monetize this channel until recently. And by monetize means that people make money on YouTube because there's commercials, because my husband didn't want people to have to sit through them, and he didn't like them. And, I could have been making a lot of money doing that for 10 years, but we didn't have any commercials. And then when my good friend Heather Goodman came to stay with me, she turned them on, and because I didn't even know how. And so then YouTube starts giving you money because there's these ads. Now, by the way, you can get rid of the ads by paying them money to not see them, or as you know, it'll say skip ad in 4 seconds. So that's how people make money on YouTube. And I feel good about that because nobody is paying to see me every day, and Google is paying me. And so there is a feature that I didn't know about called Super Chat that we just turned on a week ago because I had never heard of it. And people can donate money to me if they want. And I never ask for it. But I'm answering this because you're asking what the bell is for. And so when that happens on a live stream, there's something you can click on YouTube. Let me go find it and tell you exactly where it is, because I never heard of this, because honestly, I don't have time to watch other people's shows. I'd love to watch Tom and Tammy if I did, because they have a great show. I do watch Pluto the dog, but that's like really very quick show. It's like 4 minutes. It's not live. So I'm going to my YouTube page right now. And if you go there, which if you're watching on YouTube, I don't think you would see this on Facebook, but on YouTube, there's a little thing. And where is it? Okay. So if you go right under the chat, there is this button, and it's a $sign. And if you click it, it says show your support by Chef AJ, a super sticker or a super chat. And so sometimes people give, I don't know, $5, or there's somebody here that gave more. Thank you. You know who you are. I don't want to embarrass you in case you want people to know. And what that does is it highlights their question, because what you guys may not understand is I broadcast to 5 places. So a lot of times people say, oh, why are there only 100 people watching when there's actually 500? Because you're maybe watching from Feel Fabulous or Ultimate Weight Loss or Mastery or YouTube or Facebook. And my chat goes much more quickly than your chat, which is why I always say, please send your questions in advance so I have them on paper. So if somebody, it's a long answer, but if somebody does a super chat, makes a donation of any amount, it goes really big in blue. And a lot of times people do that to get my attention so that I can ask the doctor their question and don't miss it. And so the idea is to celebrate that, we ring the bell. So that's how it came to be. Okay. So Joy, Feel Fabulous over 40 and Lose Weight with a Full Plate is different. So Lose Weight with a Full Plate is a 21-day course. Feel Fabulous is an ongoing membership thing. So they're different. And a lot of times people do either and both. Julie says, skin looks amazing. Same products in my Amazon store. It's called Becca Backlight Primer. Okay, let's see. All right. Susan says for the frozen grapes. Yeah, frozen grapes are great, especially through a Champion juicer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to have more shoulder shirts. Yeah, because I'm much slimmer on top than the bottom. Trust me, if you see me from the bottom down, you wouldn't be saying, oh, she's so thin. Because my doctor says, no, you're not yet. Huge legs, she says. I'm hoping you have, I'm sorry, I don't know Plentiful Kiki. So again, if somebody, I can't reach out to somebody that I don't know. It's just, weird, and I've had such bad experiences. So if I don't know somebody, especially, I can't reach out to them. But if you want them to be on the show, tell them about it and have them contact me. How's that? It's been working for a lot of people doing that. I know that Louise, who watches, has sent me some wonderful people that have reached out to me, like Tom Glazer and someone else. My dehydrator is an Excalibur. Lisa, if you look in my Amazon store, I'll put the link to it right now. You can see the brand I have. It's amazon.com/shop/chef AJ. There you go. Yeah, I know. Jesse, I came on just really quick to tell people what the schedule is for the week. You ran into us at Trader Joe's in Ohio. That's funny. And thanks for coming to the show, Randy. Are all your YouTube videos on FFOF? No. So the videos on FFOF, and there's probably 60 now, these are private. So nobody can see them unless they're in the group. And a lot of the doctors talk more freely on these videos than they would if they were going to be interviewed on YouTube, which is why we can't release them, because it's private content. And maybe it's on a private YouTube channel, if that's what you mean, but they're not, nobody can see them unless they're in the group. How do you keep onion powder from clumping? So that I don't know. I think it depends on the brand, but my guess is you probably would have to then just zhuzh it in a blender after that. I know that sometimes happens to Benson's Table Tasty. Maybe try refrigerating that. Try refrigerating it and see if that helps. Can you describe what 2 pounds of veggies look like as a meal? Sounds like a lot. I don't know. I don't eat 2 pounds in a meal. So it does sound like a lot. I eat about a pound, and it's not very much. When you cook 2 pounds, when you cook a pound of Brussels sprouts, it's nothing. It cooks down to like 2 handfuls of food. Now, if you were eating raw kale, a pound is quite a lot. Petra says joining the 21-day challenge. Yeah, it's good because you can accomplish a lot in 21 days, especially because it's not forever. And so I'll post that link again. We're actually starting in, I believe it's on Monday, they'll lose weight with a full plate a week from today. And so you'll have 4. So if those of you that are sick of me, don't join because it's too much, because I'll be doing these lives like 2 hours every week, every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So that still gives you time to get to all the other people that are live streaming at 4. What about using onion granules instead? Lisa says FFOF is amazing. You can't find Hannah Yam, says Fran, so try looking for the Jersey or the white sweet potatoes, or try your ethnic markets. Barb says storing the jars upside down seems to help the products from clumping. Let me just make sure my husband, oh shoot. Sorry, he went shopping. It's so funny. I don't know what he would do if I went away. I don't think he'd ever think. What do I think of Brooke Goldner's views on smoothies? I don't know, because I don't know it. I think she's awesome. She's beautiful. I know she uses a lot of flax, and I can't really comment. I'm not a doctor. I know other doctors have said that might be too much, but hey, if she's getting results, I know for me, and like for the people I've interviewed, like Danny Taylor last Monday, I don't find liquid calories satisfying. So they don't work for me. I like to be able to chew my food and rather than drink it. But hey, if it's working for somebody, who am I to say not? I just can't imagine having that much flaxseed and not putting weight on. And it's not something I'm willing to try. But hey, if it's working for you and you're getting results, keep doing it. I should get a t-shirt that says this, because my motto has always been, do the least restrictive program you can do to get the results you seek. Okay. Well, thank you for the nice comment and joining both groups. Let's see what else we got here. Thomas Allen is coming on tomorrow. I got to put that in the show notes. I forgot to put that in the show notes. Thank you for being here. It's on my calendar, 1 p.m. Thomas Allen. We call it Tuesdays with Thomas, and he does a little cooking demo with his fabulous vinegars the first Tuesday of the month. And people are like, why do you always promote those vinegars? And it's like, because I love them. They go, are you on the payroll? No, it's a great product. And I just don't know another brand that has that many savory flavors. And with his new flavor, 7 Herb Italian, which I predict is going to be his #1 seller, there's no reason to get any other salad dressing. And you're going to see in Wednesday's video, I'm going to show you 8 different ways to use it. So it's not just for salad. So that's going to be great. So Karen, is Dr. Esther coming on the show again? Dr. Esther has an open invitation. I believe he might have had a baby. So I just might write myself a note to email him again or text him. So I hope so. Spamming all my favorite YouTubers. long form interview from them. So yeah, I mean, I could do like a joint, you know, we're going to be doing some fun things coming up. Like, I guess I could announce it now because you guys are part of the Zoominity. So on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to be doing a 2-hour special of cooking with all my favorite SOS free chefs. And people say, well, do it before we need the recipes. But I just felt more people would be home Thanksgiving Day, and you can still cook along with us because we're going to send out the ingredient list in advance. And we're going to make a complete SOS free Thanksgiving dinner from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time on Thanksgiving Day. For Christmas, we may not do it on Christmas Day because not all the chefs are available. So that's going to be fun. And on Veterans Day, I've got something big coming up because I really feel that we have to honor the veterans, and I'm trying to gather a vegan from every branch of the armed forces to be on the show. I just want to cry when I think about their service because it's like, I could never do it. My God. And so, so far I've got a Marine, Army, Air Force. So we're working on having a whole show of vegan vets on Veterans Day. So yeah, that'll be kind of cool. And, you know, I'll have some non-vegans on. I love having comedians on, whether they're vegan or not, because, you know, yeah, Benson's Table Tasty's great too. I just wish she would come out with her, you know, roasted garlic already. I've been waiting a year and a half. So oh yeah, if Dr. Esther had a baby, I don't know why I forgot to write him, but thanks. Yeah, he's very inspirational. So, oh, the gardener's here. So if it gets noisy and Bailey starts barking, I might have to log off, or you'll do that. Yeah, vegan vets. I kind of want to have show themes, you know, and I might, you know, it's really funny because there are people that really like the doctors and people that really like the chefs. And so some of them are like, I don't like the chefs, I don't like the doctors. So we have a variety, and we have people that are neither doctors nor chefs. Like I'll be having Richard Schwartz on. One of the funnest things for me of doing this show is I get to interview people whose books inspired me. And so there was a book I read probably 20 years ago called, and even if you're not Jewish, it doesn't matter, but the book is Judaism and Vegetarianism, because the lessons in this book transcend any religion. So I finally located Dr. Richard Schwartz today, and I'm going to have him on the show. Because if you saw the Rabbi Shmuley one, it doesn't matter what your faith is, even if you have no faith, that was an inspirational one. So I really want to try to like interview authors. They're not necessarily vegan, but whose books inspired me, but they're so hard to get a hold of, like Michael Moss and Matthew Walker and David Kessler. They don't answer me. And that's why I don't like reaching out to people, because they don't answer, number one. And number two, it often puts them on the spot to have to say no. Whereas if they contact me and they're vegan, they're pretty much assured a spot, pretty much. I mean, there's some exceptions if they're promoting something like really, really weird that would not work, you know. I don't grow microgreens, but I do eat them. They sell them at Trader Joe's, and I do like them. They're very good. Any kind of sprouts is good. We discovered the connection between mental health and whole food vegan diet. Dr. Furman wrote about that in the book Fast Food Genocide. Huge connection. Oh, and Dr. Nedley, who went on a few weeks ago, did a PowerPoint on that. He wants to come back. And that's the other thing. I'm really honored that almost every single guest that I have on wants to come back. And so I've got to try to find a better, more fair way to schedule, because right now they have to wait a long time. And then, of course, we have the wonderful Robert Cheek, who pretty much said if somebody cancels, he'll come on. And Dr. Lyle has said the same thing. And very few people cancel. If it is, it's usually, every time it's been a dental emergency. That's the two doctors that canceled, and because they had a toothache or had to go to the dentist. So anyway, oh, your husband is retired Navy. Is he vegan? Because what I want to do is to just get as many vegan vets on as possible, because you know, it's funny. I was talking to a client the other day, because I'm doing a lot of business coaching now, because I like it better than weight loss coaching, because I think people are more motivated to make money than they are to lose weight permanently. And the gentleman is a veteran, and he's doing work in the Veterans Hospital, and we talked about where he could be significant in his coaching, and that was one of the options. And I said, I think that would be amazing, because, you know, these brave men and women, we sent them to war, and they avoided death from, you know, all kinds of things that could happen to them. But, you know, we were feeding them in the mess halls the food that's like, we're killing them. And so I have a special place in my heart for veterans. My father and my grandfather actually enlisted. My grandfather was old when it was World War II. I think he might have been in I can't remember, but he actually enlisted and went to Guam as a medical doctor when he just left his family to go be in the Navy and be a doctor. And my father was a staff sergeant. So I I could never do it. I'll tell you that. I have a really special place in my heart for veterans. And so I want to acknowledge them and thank them for their service and honor them. And maybe they can inspire more change in the armed forces because, if you saw the interview with Sergeant Bill on Memorial Day, the Air Force had the best food. Well, that's pretty good. Army food is well, I wonder why the Air Force has better food than the Army. That doesn't seem quite fair, So yeah, Diane, get in touch with me through the website because I'm looking for vegan veterans. And God, if we can get a Coast Guard, let's get every branch of the armed forces and let's rock it on Veterans Day. And I think that could be an amazing show. So that's very cool. Where can you watch the PCRM earlier? So you can watch it on their Facebook page and you can watch it on their YouTube page, PCRM. So Chuck Carroll has a show every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern time, but it's only 5 days a week. I don't mean only, oh, I'm so great. I have a 7-day-a-week show. It's 5 days a week. And he's going to be a guest on my show very soon. And also on the Real Truth About Weight Loss Summit, which we're starting to do the interviews for. Let's see. Anything else going on? I don't want to keep you guys too long. I got to shoot some videos today. Oh, you got the new vinegar is on sale, and either choose it as your sample if you're not sure. Let me put it this way: if you like Italian dressing, then you're going to love it. If you don't like it, you probably won't because it tastes like Italian dressing, but it tastes like Italian dressing that has oil, sugar, and salt. And every time I use it, I text Thomas. I say, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" But what he did is he took the spices from Nick, local spicery, to make it. So if you already got the greatest vinegar and the greatest spices and combine them, what do you expect? So Jesse wants to know, where did I get the face mask you were wearing? So I don't want to get into whether we should wear masks or not. It's an individual belief, just like God. You can believe what you want, but I'm wearing one because it's the law and I choose to obey the law. But as long as I'm obeying the law, I make a fashion statement. And I meet a lot of people that way in stores. So it's actually kind of fun, which without the mask, they might not have come up and talked to me. So that's kind of cool. Fran says, I use your method on prep jars for grandma. Oh yeah, prepping's great. Prepping's great. So any thoughts on the acidity of vinegars eroding tooth enamel? Radhika, I don't know the answer to that, but you've got me thinking that I would love to have a vegan dentist on, or any dentist. Actually, I could ask my dentist is a little shy. I'd love to have a dentist talk about that, but I use a vinegar every day. Here's my teeth. So it looks okay. So I think so. Oh, you just ordered the Italian. I think you'll love it. Barb has to eat her steamed veggies. Oh, I knew this would happen. That's the only thing that Bailey doesn't like is the gardener. Oh, so where did I get the face mask? Jesse, I showed it. Customizedgirl.com. Customizedgirl.com. It's where I get the t-shirts. When Janine Elder designs t-shirts for me, that's where I get it. So we're going to have barking now. So I think I'm going to say goodbye. I'll be back here at 1 p.m. Pacific time for the regular show. And thank you guys so much for being in my Zoomunity, and send the veterans my way because we want to rock in on Veterans Day and honor all the veterans. Well, we can't honor all the veterans because I can't have more than a certain amount of people, but all the vegan veterans in every branch of the armed forces, if we can find one in every single branch. All right. The barking started, so time to go. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Take care.